This is the list of all new features coming to FC25, and after going through every tweet and article, I came up with a list of the most shocking changes. Starting off at number 25, in addition to the free season pass in Ultimate Team, EA is adding a premium pass. Obviously, it's going to cost money, but it is going to give significantly better rewards, meaning EA is finally giving into the battle pass model started by Rocket League and Fortnite, and we can't forget that this is going to start a ton of controversy because the game is going to be more pay to win. But next at number 24, in FC25, defense is going to be completely different. Since the offense is overpowered and has more mechanics, EA is adding two different defensive tackles. The hard tackle, which is going to be similar to a tactical foul, just stopping your opponent before he counterattacks, and the sneak tackle, which is going to be very hard to execute because not only does it cut your opponent off, but it acts as your first touch, allowing you to transition to the attack way faster than a normal tackle. But what I didn't tell you is as we go through the list of new features, every feature is going to be crazier than the last one until we get to the feature at number 1. Coming in at number 23, despite past leaks, Toni Kroos is not being added as an icon in FC25. My guess is since he just retired, EA didn't have enough time to get the licensing done, but if it means anything, Eden Hazard has been confirmed as a new hero, and Gareth Bale will be coming to FC25 as an icon, which I guess is fair considering Hazard probably didn't play long enough to become an icon, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Next at number 22, just like defending, shooting is going to be completely different. For the first time ever, EA is adding a new system that makes shooting in one-on-one situations significantly more consistent, meaning you will no longer miss easy shots due to scripting, and in result will score more goals. My only question is, does this affect shots outside the box, headers, anything else, or is it just one-on-one situations? Now at number 21, because shooting and defending is getting updated, so is goalkeeping, because not only are they nerfing goalkeeper movement, so you can't move your keeper like 9,000 feet and make a crazy save while I'm shooting, but they are adding new goalkeeper playstyles and playstyle pluses, because for some reason goalkeepers in FC24 were the only position that could not have a playstyle plus. But next at number 20, they are adding 5 new skill moves to FC25. The toe drag step over, big feint, step over ball, heel nutmeg, and the drag turn. And I don't know what star skills each skill move is going to be, but since they are really advanced, I imagine some of them will be 5-star skills or even trickster plus only. Now at number 19, corner kicks are going to be completely different. I don't know if the actual kicking animation is changing, but for the first time ever, you'll be able to set up your own players in the box, meaning you can strategically put your tall players on the front post and even create unique corner plays. But that means EA is going to have to do something about the aerial plus meta because it is already so OP, and this is the last thing we need. But next to number 18, social media is being factored into career mode. Now I don't think you'll be able to create a burner account to silence all of the haters, but you will be able to scroll through Fabrizio's account, who is finally being added to the game and is going to leak all of your transfers before you know they're happening. Now at number 17, the most meta formation is being removed from the game completely. Since they are completely removing center forwards from the game, you will no longer be able to use the 4-3-2-1, because center forward is not going to be a position anymore, but a role your striker can play in the new tactics system I'm going to explain later. But next to number 16, EA is changing the Ultimate Team pack animation from what it is now and is going back to the tunnel animation that it used in FIFA 20 and 21. The fact they pretty much change this every year is interesting, and it must mean they don't like the one they have this year. And I personally don't really care about the pack animations as long as it looks cool, but that being said, I kind of like double walkouts. Now at number 15, the bench size is increasing in Ultimate Team and online play. Right now you can only have 7 players on the bench and make 5 subs per game, but in FC25 you'll have 2 extra spots on the bench, which doesn't sound like much, but I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten a red card and I don't have a center back on the bench, and there is nothing I can do about it. But next to number 14, just like center forwards, there will no longer be left and right wingbacks in FC25, because wingbacks are no longer going to be a position, but a role your right and left backs can play, which is all included in the new tactic system I'm going to explain later. Now at number 13, for the first time since FIFA 18, EA is bringing back duplicate storage. So instead of quick selling your untradeable dupes or putting them into bad SBCs because you don't know what to do with them, you can put them in the duplicate storage and use them whenever you want. But next to number 12, evolutions are going to be completely different. According to Foot Police leaks, you're going to be able to do multiple evolutions at once, complete evolutions in rush mode, which I'll explain more about later, change the card design and add sound effects, which those last two don't really sound useful, but as long as these cards are good enough to stop the meta players, I'll be happy. Because right now it seems like everyone's using the same team, and I feel like if evolutions can come in, that will change. Now at number 14, friendlies and rival matchmaking will no longer be connected. This is something I didn't know about, but in FC24, rivals and friendlies were actually connected. So you only play friendlies against people who are in the same division as you. But now for FC25, that won't be the case because you can match up against literally everyone, which is going to be horrible because you're going to have Division 10 players playing against Elite Division players and vice versa. But next to number 10, we have one of the most disappointing features coming to FC25. Just like this year, you will not receive the win if your opponent quits at 0-0. Instead, you will receive 1 point since it is no longer a checkpoint system and is changing to something else that I will explain later. Next to number 9, Ultimate Team players are no longer going to be limited to one evolution, which is kind of terrifying because if EA makes a mistake and forgets to restrict certain players from certain evolutions, we are going to see some of the best players in the entire game go from a bronze card to a 95 overall evolution. But next to number 8, there are 10 new icons being tested for FC25, and I didn't expect any of them. So far, we have Francesco Totti, Jobstom, Turan, Robin, Nakamura, Aguero, Platini, Guti, Stapleton, and Maicon. Now remember, these are not confirmed to be in the game yet, but they are being tested, meaning there's a good chance we will see them in FC25. Now at number 7, it is going to be significantly harder to use out of position players in FC25. Right now, the majority of pro players use attacking players at right back, but in FC25, if your player doesn't have the position role on their card, it is not going to work. Now, obviously, it's not going to be restricted and not like physically let you use it, but they're going to play significantly worse when they're out of position. But next to number 6, the checkpoint system in division rivals and pro clubs is going to be completely different, because instead of moving up or down based on if you win or lose, you will get 3 points for a win, 0 or potentially lose points for a loss, and 1 point for a draw. My only question is, there going to be a set amount of games for each season, like 10 games, and you have to hit a certain checkpoint, or is it just going to be unlimited like this year too? Now into the top 5 new features coming to FC25. There are major differences between the standard and ultimate editions. I could go through all of them, but the two biggest are if you buy the ultimate edition, you get to play a whole week early and with no restrictions, and you get 4,600 FC points, which means you can build the best squad ever if you spend it on 46 gold packs or 30 premium gold packs, giving you an insane start over everyone else. But next to number 4, there's a brand new FC25 catalog that uses a new currency and spans across all game modes, meaning just like the old days, you can buy coin boosts, pro club upgrades, and even career mode upgrades from this menu. I honestly don't know much about it, but it sounds cool. Now at number 3, FC25 is adding a completely new game style to every game mode, and it's called Rush. Rush is a brand new 5v5 mode, and it's included in all formats of FC25, including kickoff, ultimate team, clubs, and career mode, which sounds really cool because it's pretty much Volta with some exciting twists, and I would much rather grind Rush for rewards instead of playing squad battles. Next to number 2, EA is adding a completely new youth academy to career mode, and I personally am not a huge fan of career mode. Like, I don't have a ton of experience with it, but my friends who play have told me this is a huge deal and is something that has been teased for years. Instead of managing and building your club from existing players, you'll finally be able to develop young talent. And lastly, the newest and craziest feature coming to FC25 is FCIQ. FCIQ is completely changing how custom tactics are done in-game, and according to Foot Police leaks, just like this year, you'll have 5 different custom tactics you can choose from. But the difference is team tactics are simplified and player roles are going to be huge. Each player has a normal role as well as a role plus, but if you change him to a position he doesn't play, you will not have access to the role anymore and he will play awful. So essentially more simplified team tactics, but significantly more complex instructions and tactics on the individual position level. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click here for the best formation and tactics in FC24.